Caitlin Clark is really back, and so is that CC motion. Look, I know I've said before I don't want to talk about repeats, and this topic isn't really brand new, but it feels fresh in a sense because we finally saw Caitlin Clark back out on the basketball floor, and we all had our reactions. I mean, she had that iconic moment, really in a sense for an exhibition, for a preseason moment, a legendary moment when you hit from your own logo. You've got the Brazilian national team player asking you to tag them in the pic when you do your photo dump on Instagram after the fact. I mean, these are special things, right? Documentary level moments with Caitlin Clark going back to her old stomping grounds at Iowa with the Fever in the preseason. So, of course, there's a little extra juice around it than, say, a typical preseason contest. Don't get me wrong. More hype, more promotion, all those things. Yet still, the ratings number pretty staggering, relatively speaking, especially when you consider, the history of the WNBA and the fact that it was an exhibition. 1.3 million viewers. That's more than any NBA preseason game since 2018, all but two NBA preseason games since 2010. Game one of the WNBA finals, so it outrated the beginning of the WNBA finals. I'm not saying this to crap on anything else because I think the WNBA finals numbers were very good last year and they got better as they went along. It's just more about how impressive it is that a preseason game in any sport, right? Forget Caitlin Clark for a second. Forget any of those things. That a preseason game in any sport could outrate any game of the finals championship series. And the context on the NBA preseason games, the last NBA preseason games to do so, both to outrate that game, both involved LeBron James, and one was his first game with the Lakers. The other one, the one in 2017 there, as you can see from this Rebecca Lobo tweet, barely outrated this. And there's the graphic from ESPN as they share it. Average of 1.3 million viewers, a peak of 1.6 million viewers. That's up 13% from the regular season last year, which also involved, obviously, a lot of Indiana Fever games. The Countdown show up 71%. So people were ready. They were there beforehand, checking it out, watching it beforehand, getting pumped, getting hyped. And then you just talk about the effect that's gone on from last season. I guess I use effect with purpose. But Sundays, this is from Sports Media Watch, I believe. Sunday's WNBA preseason game between the Indiana Fever and Brazilian national team, which took place from Clark's alma mater at Iowa, averaged 1.3 million viewers on ESPN, a figure that exceeds all but two NBA preseason games on the network dating back to 2010. Indiana's blowout win was the 34th WNBA telecast in the past year to average a seven-figure audience, with Clark having figured in 26. Prior to Clark being drafted last year, no WNBA telecast had attracted 1 million viewers since 2008. So, I mean, that pretty much says it all, too. And I don't know. I mean, I there's just never been anything like it. What did the Brazilian coach tell Caitlin Clark? You've changed the history in basketball. And that's damn sure the case. And it really bodes well for the regular season. Because I think, again, I think WNBA numbers as a whole, and I'm very hopeful non-Clark WNBA numbers will go up. But the games involving the Fever, especially that season opener, what could be the numbers they touch? The playoffs, depending on how far the Fever go. Like if the Fever were to get to the WNBA finals, what kind of numbers are we talking about? Because to get that level of attention and viewership for an exhibition game is quite an exhibit of popularity.